Guys, allow me drink my coffee and drop cup, because the way Nigeria is turning right now is crazy. And you guys be wondering, why am I here? Yes, I am here because the story of Pastor Adefarasin, what happened over the weekend in regards to him brandishing something, and obviously him coming out here to say he did not brandish anything. And also, like I told you guys, obviously I heard for the first time there's something called car watching. I've never heard of it before, but it's been alleged that this guy who actually filmed him is a car watcher. Okay, they watch expensive cars and do stuff like that. So in the video that we've all seen, which I'm going to pop here so you guys can watch it, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already, you could see there that, in my own point of view, the pastor had no right, had any reason to slow down or stop his car in the first place. He went on to stop his car, wound down his car window, and then made a motion as if he's got something in his hands. And the guy, from the recording that you're watching, the guy stepped back and said, "Sorry sir, sorry sir, sorry sir." And to me, the guy knew, okay, the pastor does not want to be filmed, but we saw that the pastor had something in his hands, right? So you and I, we cannot ascertain for a fact what it was, Abby. So the pastor was called out, and you all see, I think I did a live stream where Daddy Freeze interviewed the guy in question. And from the guy's explanation, which maybe I'm going to pop at some point in this video, okay, maybe we should watch. So you guys saw from that interview that Daddy Freeze interviewed that guy. He said he was just watching cars and stuff like that. He was not aggressive, that he did not even know who was in the car, but our pastor decided to, slow down, which means that at the end of the day, the guy knew who was in the Range Rover. So my question remains that if he was actually fearful for his life, or if he knew or he found that guy, the car watcher, familiar, he shouldn't have stopped his car in the first place. And we're not even talking about the fact that he was driving a plateless car. His car had no registration number. So God forbid they use that as his car to do something at that instance. We won't be able to trace who owns that car or who was driving that car at that moment. With that being said, so the pastor apparently came out, said that he was going to explain what happened to his congregation, which he did. And before I even jumped into that, pastor said in his video that he did not brandish anything. He had no letter, or he had no right to carry anything, that he did not have a permit or something, license to carry anything. That he practically told us that was not carrying anything. Tell me why some people are coming out and say, pastor had the right to protect himself. So pastor said he did not carry anything, but you all are coming with videos that pastor had the right to protect himself. Protect himself from what? And what did he protect himself with? So guys, let's watch that video together. Okay, let's listen to it together, where he was addressing his congregation of what happened. Okay.
And I was falsely accused of bearing a firearm, pointing a firearm at an aggressive content creator.
Was he aggressive?
Within personal distance. The only thing separating me and him was about maybe 3/4 of a meter and glass. I do not have a pistol license for a firearm.
Okay.
I do not carry a firearm.
Okay.
And I pointed no firearm.
He pointed no firearm. Okay.
Amen.
Oh, amen. Amen.
And it's our policy not to dignify hate speech, false accusations.
Okay.
We believe that God is bigger than that. And we believe in what is said in Romans 12 and verse 19.
I don't have my Bible.
And it was unique because it came home on a Saturday when I observe Sabbath, because it's a great time.
I think that's just the part I needed. So you guys heard from him. They said he does not have a license to carry anything. He was not brandishing anything, and the guy was the content creator. According to his words, was aggressive. Please, guys, let me find the video of that guy to see how he was aggressive towards our pastor. I'm going to put the video here. So guys, from that video that you've just watched, tell me where this guy was aggressive towards our pastor. Tell me how he was aggressive towards our pastor. You know what? We deserve the government we have today because we fail in asking them we fail to ask questions and ensuring that they account for their actions. So this pastor said it was not licensed, he does not have a license to carry anything, it was not brandishing anything. You will have thought that for the man of his caliber, for a pastor who have that magnitude of congregation, you will have thought that it will say, oh, by the way, what I had in my hands, for example, or it could have at least told us, because he said it was malicious, the content creator wanted money allegedly. He came out with this false narrative. In my own opinion, it was a false narrative. He claimed that the guy was in his personal space. How was he in his personal space? Person wait there for feet, wait stand on in 2 legs, and you wait inside a $105,000 car, 4-wheel. I mean, yeah, 4-wheel. How was he in your personal space? I was in your personal space, and when you won down your car, the guy apologized. So tell me how it was in your personal space. Tell me how it was aggressive. You guys saw that video. Was the content creator aggressive? How? And also, he said, okay, he was not carrying anything, and maybe, like I said, a man of your caliber, he could have just gone on and said, oh, by the way, what I had in my hand, maybe it was a special bottle for carrying my whiskey, or it was a special carrier for carrying an inhaler, or is a special bottle for carrying my fragrances. It could have at least, he always his congregation at that explanation. But no, see, a pastor lied, Ojukoroju allegedly. He lied with his full chest, and people were clapping. People were clapping. Tell me why we do not deserve Tinubu today. That is why we deserve Tinubu. That is why people in power, in high places, in politics in Nigeria, they cannot be held accountable. When they do something, they do it with their future, because they know that nothing is going to bear them consequences. Nobody's going to ask them to come here and say, okay, you have to be held responsible for your actions. No. With that being said, there's another video of a young church boy who regretted what the church did to him. So let's watch that video together, because I was like, okay. Those of you that you put your life in church, yes, there's nothing wrong in putting your life in the church, because at the end of the day, it's a church you want to run to when you are down, when things feels like it's never going to end. You put your faith, you put your faith in God, right? But listen to what this church boy said about the mistakes he made as a church boy.
One of the most stupid mistakes I made as a young man growing up was spending all my life in church.
In church.
Now, before you argue with me, my father is the pastor.
Okay.
I play 4 musical instruments.
4 musical instruments.
I literally lived in the church. In fact, I was doing school, church, house, church, school. That was my circle then. But then I learned this thing very late. I think I was in the university when I found out that I had wasted a significant number of years spending all my life in church. You go to church as a young boy.
Are you listening?
Don't have skills. The church is not a system that you commit to. The church is a system you should contribute to. And that's the mistakes a lot of persons are
contribute,
making.
not commit.
Instead of you to develop yourself so you can add to the church, you are there doing the church. Zero personal development, nothing, no skill, nothing. And when you finish, when you are about 30, what can you do? I can drive. See, let me tell you something.
What can you do? I can drive.
I found out that Nigerian churches, maybe American, but Nigerian churches are part of the problems of Nigerian economy. Not because they are not doing well when it comes to spiritual development, but they are not doing well when it comes to personal and physical or professional development.
Did you lie?
Attending church.
Did he lie?
You knew that John 3:16, God so loved the world. You are almost 30. You are still learning John 3:16.
John 3:16.
God so loved the world. Zero skill. If they say do something now, nothing. What can you do? I can drive.
I can play the piano.
As much as you go to church, use your head. The church is not a system that should serve you. The church is a system you should contribute to. I know go talk past like this, so I know go talk past like this. The only advice person. Even they talk again, enough is a word for the wise. One of the most.
So you guys heard him. This is a boy who grew up. You guys heard him from the start. Say, in Papa na pastor. He practically lived his life in the church. So guys, what do you think about what he said? And I think it's not. I don't think it's today. For me, I do not be today. I know say church has contributed to a lot of the problems in Nigeria. You can imagine the amount of churches we have in Nigeria, and we still face all these problems we are facing. And just like I've just spoken about Pastor Adefarasin there, you'll have thought that a man whose church is the richest, is the church where all the richest people attend on him. Is it mainland or wherever? His church is one of the biggest churches where all the biggest people in Nigeria attend. And such clips came out. I'm sure he has seen the video. So why is he not out here telling us what he had in his hands? And like that guy said, a church is where you should contribute to, and not go and put all your life on top of the church, except you want to become a pastor. and you're waiting to be trained, so that, because they said that it is where you eat that you, this is where you walk that you eat. So if you said you want to become a pastor, that's where you put all your life there. Me that I'm talking here, yeah, I go to church and I do my minimum. In fact, my mom advised me about how my role in a church should be, that it's up to me to take the advice and, you know, do with it what I want to do. And yes, I took the advice of my mom, and I'm not regretting in any way. There are some people who carry their lives carry their lives on top of church, and then their own life is languishing. So what I'm saying in essence is this: we should learn to call people in high places, regardless of their caliber, to call them to accountability. And that is all I'm going to say, because I just want to bring these videos out to you, because now they tell me now that I am always biased in my videos. And let me be biased. It is my platform, it is my page, and whatever I'm saying here, I am not shoving it down anybody's throat. I am allowed to hear my opinion and my views, and you don't have to agree with it. That is how it's meant to be. That is how it's meant to be. So just because you don't agree with me now, you want me to agree with your own point? No! I don't have to agree with your point, and you don't have to agree with mine. Hence why I am hearing my views here. We all think differently. We all sleep differently. All of us cannot be sleeping and be sleeping in the same direction. It is not possible. It is not possible. Hence why it is normal for you not to agree with me and for me not to agree with you. But then I am saying, what I'm saying in essence is this: we should learn to pull people in high places to accountability. Let them to agree their faults and make amends. Let them accept their faults and make amends. This pastor is still telling us that it was not brandishing anything. Okay, let's assume it was not a weapon. What was it? You aware the public, you aware your congregation what it was. Even if that was in your, even while you were in the church explaining to them, you could have said, oh, by the way, this was what I had in the car, and this is what this thing is, and this is what I use it for. Or you don't even have to tell us what you use it for, but you should have told us what you were holding. And for those of you who are still saying that he had a right to protect himself, your pastor saying no carry anything. So what was he protecting himself for? And it was broad daylight anyways. And your pastor claimed that the content creator was aggressive. How was he aggressive? And he went on to talk about they wanting money. Who asked him for money? Did the content creator ask him for money? And like I've said in my live stream that I did, he shouldn't have stopped in the first place. Even if he was familiar with that content creator, he shouldn't have stopped his car in the first place if he was fearful for his life. But no, he knew something was giving him confidence, hence why he stopped, wound down his car, and did what he did. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, you can agree with me, fine. You can disagree with me, it's fine as well. But leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section, because like I said, Nigerians, we are not ready yet. We are fearful of calling the people in the big shot. We are fearful of calling them out for their shenanigans and pulling them by their throats to accountability, to be able to account for their actions. See, if we are not ready to start pulling them to account for their actions, Nigeria is not going to get better. It is not going to get better. Either in your own lifetime or in another lifetime, it's not going to get better. With that being said, here is where I drop my mic. If you've watched this video till now and you've not yet watched my live stream, go watch my live stream. I'm going to pin it here and I'm going to put it in the cards at the end of this video. Go watch it and come to your own conclusion. Like I said, I'm not forcing my opinion down anybody's throat. You are allowed to agree and you're allowed to disagree with me. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've watched it now, you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a cup in the comment. Drop a cup in the comment section. Drop your points and comments in the comment section. Share this video. Do not hesitate to subscribe and join my membership. And I'll to catch up with you in another video. All right, we are going to learn, just like VDM has been saying, but we don't know how soon or how far it's going to take Nigerians. And let me drink my coffee and drop cup. See you later. Bye.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged